So in the metaphor, letting go of the oars is like going general?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Excellent.
What's the value in holding on to what I perceive to be control over here or worry?
It gives you more contrast and causes you to add more specifics to the vortex that you're not ready for yet. But it does cause expansion that later on will pay off. That's the reason you came into this physical body. Otherwise, you would have stayed here with lazy old us. We're far from lazy. We're focused. But you are the leading edge creators.
Is there any more reason to hold on to over here anymore?
Maybe more clarity. Maybe to add more specifics. Because we asked you a question earlier, and some of you, when we said, is what's in the vortex general or specific? And some of you said general, some of you said specific, and all of you are right. But for the point we were making then, we wanted you to think about the specifics of it. But you have things that you've just put into the vortex. That the things that were in your vortex when you were born were general in nature. You wanted to feel good, you wanted to be of value, you wanted to be uplifted and be an uplifter. You wanted to be a vibrational match to love. You wanted to find things to be excited about. You wanted to explore. You wanted to expand. You wanted to have joy. You wanted to know your guidance system. You wanted to be aware of it. You wanted to demonstrate through the clarity of your example. That's something that is common to all and general to all, you see. And then as you explored, and there were some specifics that you were born with, but for the most part, you've picked the specifics that you have put into your vortex up along your physical trail.
And you've mentioned that, I mean, we have things in our vortex for multiple lifetimes, yeah?
Well, when you understand that you are an eternal being and that all that you are continues to exist, then that must be true. But this life experience is about who you are. And the thing that we're really wanting you to understand, and Esther is understanding it more clearly than ever before, now that Jerry has made his transition to non-physical, is that things that he was interested in while he was here in the physical, he is still interested in. Only with the absence of resistance, that interest is pure. And when she allows herself to turn to the frequency of this Abraham work, she can feel the specific clarity that he adds to the mix now.
So why would I want to hold on to anything over here? Why don't I just completely let go and...
We really like the words you're using because you never intended to hold on to any of that. Because that is paramount to saying, all right, I'll go forth, I'll mix it up, I'll know what I don't want, I'll know what I do want, but I won't go in the direction of what I want. Instead, I'll beat the drum of what I don't want just to torture myself a little longer. And to be more clarifying. But you all have made resistance an art. That's why we talk about the art of allowing. In other words, if we were standing in your physical shoes, we'd know what we don't want, and we'd acknowledge it, and we would be happy that we are acknowledging it. We would feel the emotion of it. We would say, this is my guidance letting me know that I really don't want this. We might even beat the drum a little bit about why we don't want it, just to stir it up a little more and to make what we want more vivid to the non-physical entities that are going to hold it. You got that? You got that? You got that? You sure? You sure you know what I really want because I'm really giving it to you about what I don't want? You sure? You sure? You sure? You sure? You sure? But then, once you put it into the vortex, it's time to let go of the absence of it and enjoy the presence of it. But you can't enjoy the presence of it for the most part. You see, you're going to get really good at this. You already are pretty good at this. But what happens is, if we can convince you that you are vibrational beings and that what's in your vortex is too, so that you can take pleasure in the vortexual version of things and not need them to be manifested to fill some void to cover up the absence of something that's important to you. Once you get up to speed with the vibrational version of it, now you've done the grid work and now it has to manifest. So what we're really saying to you is, if you don't care if it manifests, it will. But if you're hung up on it manifesting because you're hurting because it hasn't manifested, now it can't. There have been many humans who have said, well, that stinks. That's screwy. And we say it's the consistency of the laws of the universe. You must be a match to what you want. And every subject is two subjects, wanted and absence of it. Every subject is. Awesome. And you can tell by the way you feel which end of the stick you're vibrating on. Which end of the stick is your most practiced vibration. We encourage, if you really want to find the fastest way to that general grid work, we encourage meditation. Because when you quiet your mind, you stop thought. And when you stop thought, you stop resistance. And when you stop resistance, your grid fills in. And once you've meditated for a while, you can even use a guided meditation. The getting into the vortex meditation, that'll hold you there. That'll hold you there as long as you're listening. That'll hold you in that vibrational grid. It'll hold you on a myriad of subjects in vibrational alignment with what's in your vortex. And as it holds you there, as you practice it, until the vibration of that is what comes natural, until it is so practiced that is your belief. Now, what's in your vortex just flows seamlessly, and it will seem endlessly, because as we said, you put a whole lot there. Now, does that mean that we are saying, reach this stance where you only stand in this place where the vortex is flowing into your grid and that's all? Of course not. You want to continue to refine. But when you say, why am I holding on to, that's just going back and regurgitating the same old issues over and over and over and over again. And what happens is, with just a little bit of work here, you know what you don't want, you know what you do want. As you turn your attention to what you do want and find the feeling place of it and allow yourself to stand for as little as 68 seconds without that resistance going on, your grid's going to fill in with something that causes you now to be in a whole different vibrational place, a whole different vibrationally manifested place than you were before that happened. And then what happens? You have a whole new set of contrasting experiences. So, of course, you're going to redefine the contrast again and launch another rocket and then line up with it and then achieve a new vibrational stance with a whole new set of contrasting experiences. You see what we're getting at? Mm-hmm. We want you to feel the deliciousness of negative emotion. Guidance is working. Know what I don't want. Must have launched something really good into my vortex. Really good. Can't see it because I'm blinded by my awareness of what I don't want. But conceptually and wisely, I know that it's there. So I'm just going to chill on that subject because every time I think of it outside the vortex. Every time I think of it as I've been practicing it. So how am I going to stop practicing it? How am I going to deactivate the vibration of what I don't want? Can you? Is it possible to deactivate something? I'm going to not think about that thing I'm thinking about. Well, you can deactivate one thought by activating another, but everything is where you last left it. So how's that work? So I've got this specific vibration that opposes something that I really want that's in the vortex. And this is a habit of thought that comes easily to me. And every time the subject comes up, I go right there and I deprive myself of all of those delicious things flowing into my manifested world. So tell me again, how do I stop barring the door? By finding some subject, any subject, that it's easy for you to feel good about. But Abraham, if I change the subject, then aren't I really leaving that vibration right where I last left it? No, because that was the subject that was active. And in the moment that you found that general place, the grid began to fill in immediately with what was most recently active. And as it fills in, you move to a new place. You've shifted the energy on that subject. And every time you do it, the words that we used to use were, you clean it up a little more, you clean it up a little more, you clean it up a little more. Today we're saying, you let go of what the unwanted, you let go of the unwanted, you let go of the unwanted a little more.
Kind of trimming the fat little by little?
Little by little.
Nice. Okay. All right. So you're brilliant. And
as are you.
Thank you.